Hi everyone, this is Nia and today I'm going to be doodling simple flowers in a jar or in a glass vase. A bunch of you have been requesting for more pen doodles, so here it is. I'm going to use a warm palette, so here are the colors that I'm going to be using in case you want to create something similar to mine. Firstly, here I have Vermilion by Holbein, Buff Titanium by Daniel Smith, Quin Red by Daniel Smith, Permanent Yellow Deep by Holbein, and Burnt Sienna by Holbein. So essentially here, I'm just going to use these colors mixed together to create different warm tones. The buff titanium basically softens all the colors, which is what I'm looking for. I want to personally tone down a bit of the vibrancy, so the colors are a bit more cohesive. I'm going to use a mixture of 2 or more colors, and I just basically change up the ratio to create different tones. There's really nothing fancy here, it's just a relaxing, mindless doodle, which I find is nice to do once in a while. And if you don't like the colors that I've chosen here, you can also use blues or greens or any of your favorite colors in different varieties. I'm not going to be naming every color mixtures that I make. Hopefully from this video it is clear enough how I've mixed my colors, but I don't think that that's the point because you can basically create any abstract shapes with any colors that you want, which is why I also suggest for you to play with your favorite colors as well. I'm just creating little sections on my page. I personally didn't measure this out, but if you want something neater than what I have here, I would suggest for you to add a grid with pencil after you've placed down the colors, because you can't really erase pencil marks if you've painted over it. Here I'm just adding ovals, circles, or dry brush textures with different colors and different consistencies. You can also use mixed media like adding colored pencils and things like that if you want to incorporate different textures. But here I'm just going to stick to my watercolors and keep things simple. And here I'm just basically trying to create random shapes until I fill the rest of the page. Once I filled the page with those shapes, here's where you can rule out the grid to make sure that your vases or jars are aligned. But since I didn't want this to be too complicated, I'm just going to draw it out straight away. Just be mindful that your paper is completely dry before you draw anything on it, or else the sharp tip from your pencil might end up damaging or ripping the paper. Here I'm just trying to think up of different shaped vases, jars, or you can even do things like glasses or cups. I'm personally very bad at drawing jars and anything symmetrical, and I'm not overly confident in drawing it straight with pen while filming, so I end up just drawing it out with pencil first. But I'm going to draw the flowers free-handedly with pen after this since I'm quite comfortable drawing flowers. If you're comfortable drawing everything straight with pen without any guidelines, that's great and I applaud you. You can just do that. But if you do need the guidelines for both the jars and the flowers, you can also draw them out with pencil first before outlining it if you would like. These types of doodles are just done for fun and relaxation, so there's really no pressure to follow any exact instructions or specific shapes. For the jars, you can leave it empty or add sun textures or pebbles as ideas. I personally added water textures for mine, but if you have any other ideas, you can try them out on your doodles as well. It's also fun to add some highlights and light reflections or a bit of line details for the rim of the jar, just so the area doesn't look too empty. As for the flowers, I'm just thinking up of different shapes and types of flowers that I know of, and I just bunch them either as a bouquet or even just do a few stalks for some of the taller jars or vases. If you can't think of that many flowers, you can either copy what I have here or try to look for more ideas from Google or Pinterest and then simplify the shapes to place them in your vases. For this, I'm just using my Fudenosuke brush pen by Tombow. This is a waterproof brush pen because I'm going to be adding more patterns on top with my watercolor, but if you're not going to be adding more watercolor paint, you can also use non-waterproof ink pen and it would be sufficient. So yeah, there's really nothing much to this. I'm just going to fill in the page and draw different flowers for all of the watercolor spaces that I've created. And I'll get back to you when I'm ready to add the finishing touches. Once I'm done with all of the flower doodles, I'm going to erase any pencil marks that I have from the vases or the jars. If you made a grid, this is also the time to erase them since you no longer need it. And basically you can stop here, but I felt like I still wanted to doodle a bit more, which is why I just ended up adding some more abstract patterns or textures, or even fill in some of the flowers with extra colors. I'm just doing things like dots, lines, dashed lines, wiggly lines, and so on. This is also a good time for you to get other mediums if you would like to add additional textures from, say, colored pencils or even crayons and things like that. For the colors here, of course you can vary it a bit more, but since I had some colors left on my palette, I just tried to use it up as much as I can. So I just add whichever colors whenever I feel the need to, but I'm not really creating another puddle for it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this doodle session. This is definitely a very short video compared to what I've been making recently, but I hope you guys also enjoy these shorter, simpler projects that's a bit less time consuming and just relaxing to do. So that's pretty much it for the video. Like usual, all of the list of tools as well as my social media links will be in the description box. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!